Hi students, today we are going to start with the first introductory chapter of class 7 geography, our environment. As we all are aware that our lives are centered to a typical kind of settings that we are accustomed to. Every day we see the same locality, the same area, the same trees and all the other things that we enjoy and cherish. So this is what we call it as our natural environment. So natural environment is basically immediate surroundings or the conditions in which living beings exist and develop their characteristics make up the environment. You all must be already aware that different places had different types of environment. For example, places near the sea would be immensely different from the places in desert or mountains. In fact, if you observe your classmates, all of you must be coming from different backgrounds and therefore different environments. But what are the things that are common among each one of you? Yes, the basic things that are common between you all and the things that we all need to exist on earth are land to live, water for survival, and air to breathe. So basically, these are the subcomponents of natural environment. Natural environment has two main components, abiotic and biotic. Abiotic includes your land, air, and water, whereas biotic includes your producers and consumer. Now let's talk about these components in detail. So the first abiotic component we are going to discuss is lithosphere. Lithosphere means land. It is made up of two words, lithos and sphere, where lithos means rocks and sphere is the realm of the earth. It is the solid crust on which human beings, animals, and plants exist. Are all requirements for food, space for living, valuable minerals, and raw materials come from land. The next abiotic component we are going to discuss is hydrosphere, that is the realm of water. We all are aware that water is very essential requirement for the existence of humans, animals and plants. So, all forms of water available on earth, whether on land, in oceans or air, forms the hydrosphere. The next important component is the atmosphere, which is the blanket of air that surrounds the earth. It is basically a mixture of many life-supporting gases like nitrogen, carbon dioxide and oxygen. And we all are aware of the most important layer which is present in atmosphere is ozone, which protects us from the UV rays of the sun. Now let's talk about the biotic components. The term bio stands for life or living things. Therefore, biotic means living components of the environment, which includes human, plants and animals and all other living organisms. All these forms of life are found in a narrow zone of 13 km, that is up to a height of 6 km in the atmosphere and up to a depth of 7 km in the oceans. And this zone of living organism is called biosphere. So biosphere is a narrow zone of contact where all the three realms, that is atmosphere, lithosphere and hydrosphere meet and make life possible. There are two main biotic components, one producers and the other one consumers. So the producers are the organisms that produce their own food from the environment using water, sunlight and gases. For example, green plants, algae and various other types of bacteria. Whereas consumers are the organisms that depend on plants, animals for their food, for example, human beings. Now consumers are of three types. Herbivores, which are the plant-eating ones, carnivores, the flesh-eating ones, and omnivores, which eat both plant as well as the flesh. So till now, we have discussed the two main components of natural environment and we come to know that different organisms survive the best in their own natural environment. In fact, nature has created each living organic creature in such a way that it develops the best in its own environment. For example, fishes can survive in water only. Humans can survive on land only. So the relation between all living organisms as well as the relation of these organisms with their physical environment forms a complex system called an ecosystem. For example, a pond in itself is a complete ecosystem. A desert, a glass, all these are examples of an ecosystem. The organisms found in any of these ecosystems would happily survive provided the conditions remain consistent and favorable. But a sad reality is that human beings are constantly changing these ecosystems for their betterment and making up an environment as per their suitable needs, which is called human environment. So, human environment is a place where activities are conducted by humans and features are built or modified by humans. For example, the buildings, parks, flyover, etc., whatever you see around are all human made environment. And what all you can see around is the change that has been brought about in the environment is a result of human influences. In olden times, with low population and simple living, the demands were limited. Therefore, the environment did not get affected much. But with the increase in population in recent times, the demand surged out of proportion, and suddenly the environmental conditions changed drastically all over the world, resulting in global warming, air, water, and land pollution, depletion in ozone layer, and a major loss of biodiversity. So it's high time that the humans need to understand that maintaining an ecological balance is not only important for nature but for all of us. Now, at last, I want you to do these following questions. Number 1, explain the biotic and abiotic components of the environment. Second, explain the importance of the lithosphere and hydrosphere. Third, how do human beings affect the environment? Thank you.